3 is company. Gandalf decides to stay with Frodo for a few weeks. And Frodo decides that he'll set out on this great adventure, this quest to destroy the ring, that autumn, on or about his 50th birthday, Bilbo's 128th. That is on the 22nd of September. Gandalf, after a conversation, advises Frodo to head towards Rivendell to the east, the House of Elrond. So the summer proceeds. Frodo sells Bag End to Lobelia Sackville Baggins, Otho having died, her husband having died a few years earlier. And Frodo announces publicly that he'll be moving back to Buckland, where he grew up. He and Sam will be moving back to Buckland, to a place in Crick Hollow out beyond Buckleberry that Mary Brandybuck helped him find and purchase. Gandalf takes off in late June, saying that he'll be back at the very latest for Frodo's farewell party in September. But he does not. Frodo's birthday approaches, and then comes. He makes the arrangements to leave Bag End. Merry and Fatty Bolger head off with a lot of Frodo's furniture from Bag End in a wagon towards Crick Hollow a few days before Frodo's and Sam's and Pippin's departure from Bag End. And on the 23rd of September, the day after Frodo's birthday, at nightfall, he and Sam and Pippin set out east for Crick Hollow. But not before Frodo, coming down the lane in Bag End, hears a strange voice and an ominous voice talking to Gaffer Gamgee. But the departure goes off without a hitch, and the hobbits hike east into the night. They camp later that night under a fir wood, and there's this cool little passage where Tolkien switches to the perspective of a fox slinking by in the night past the hobbits' camping spot, who thinks it's strange to see hobbits sleeping out of doors. Then we switch back to the hobbits' perspective. In the morning, they set out, have an uneventful morning, but in the afternoon, a black rider comes up behind them. They get off the road in time, and it doesn't catch them, but it really sends a shiver down their spines. But they continue, and that evening, another encounter with a black rider, maybe the same black rider, occurs, where the black rider again comes up close to them. This time it sniffs and crawls towards them, and things look a little bit more dangerous. But at that moment, elves ride up from behind, and this causes the black rider to slink away. Gildor and Glorian of the House of Finrod is among the high elves that come upon the hobbits. They all talk, and Gildor, upon hearing about the black rider, decides to invite the hobbits to stay with the elves for the night. So they all go to the forested hills west above the village of Woodhall and camp out for the night in a little sanctuary the elves have. And they have a great time around the fire, have a good meal, tell stories, have some music, and then they all go to bed, except Frodo stays up a little later talking with Gildor and presses him for advice. And Gildor, after being reluctant, yields and tells Frodo, "Don't wait for Gandalf, make all haste towards Rivendell."